This week is a slow news week with basically info about SpaceX and Starbase, as well as a guided tour of Blue Origin in Florida by Jeff Bezos himself. And we will end this episode with a busy week of rocket launches. I'm Christophe Paget from All About Space, summarizing your space news in a short video. The week started with a statement from SpaceX on X.com that both Booster 12 and Starship 30 were ready for integrated flight test number 5 out of Starbase, but are pending regulatory approvals. They have also emphasized that whilst they are waiting for clearance, they are preparing for catching the booster number 12 back at Starbase by the Mechazilla Tower arms, also nicknamed the Chopsticks. That is promising to be spectacular to watch. They also mentioned that they are preparing for integrated flight test number 6 with the testing of Starship number 31 once the thermal protection tiles have been replaced, and presumably testing of booster number 13. At Starbase production site, Starship number 31 heat shield tile replacement is continuing. It took 38 days to replace Starship 30 tiles, so it's going to take some time to complete those of Starship number 31. As for Starship number 33, the first Starship version 2 with reduced size forward flaps, has had its forward section assembled and the section between both methane and oxygen tanks, also known as the common dome section, has been rolled out to the mega bay for installation. You could see this beehive-looking section sticking out at the bottom, the new addition to the version 2, expected to resolve the clogging or sloshing issues encountered by version 1. The Star Factory was hiding a series of Starship nose cones for its version 2 with distinctive differences compared to version 1, such as the tile pins closer together as the new tiles are now smaller, or a reinforcing stringer inside the cone, or again lifting points reduced in numbers and relocated elsewhere. You can now see a walkway or shelter being assembled linking the new office building to the Star Factory. At the launch site now, the Mechazilla Tower 2 has seen its base filled with concrete for strengthening. A lot of digging is going on to build the new flame trench and launch mount for Tower 2, and the test article called Booster 14.1 was back on the Tower 1 launch mount for further tests on catching Booster 12 on his return to site during the integrated flight test number 5. Staying at the launch site, the Tower 1 chopsticks are being fitted with pads to support the catch of Booster 12 as it flies back to site after the IFT-5. Staying with Tower 1, I'm quite surprised that some of the metal junction plates were undersized for the job and that SpaceX is replacing some of them at the root of Tower 1. After extension and breaking some crane links, the giant crane near Tower 2 has been raised again in preparation for installing Tower 2 sections 7, 8, and 9. And in fact, sections 7 and 8 were also rolled out to Tower 2 to that effect. And finally, section 7 was added to the top of the Tower 2. At SpaceX McGregor site, still in Texas, the Raptor version 3 has started its test campaign. It is incredible how simple the look of this Raptor is without all these spaghettis surrounding it, as in version 1. You can also see the regenerative cooling of some of the pipes to optimize the engine performance and to allow cancelling the need for heat shields. Tim Dodd from Everyday Astronaut has interviewed Jeff Bezos at Blue Origin New Glen factory in Florida this week. Tim has recently released the first of 2-part videos on YouTube this week relating to the rocket itself. Tune in next week for part 2 of the New Glen launch system. The main takeaways of this part 1 are that Jeff Bezos is more knowledgeable than I expected. They use friction stir welding to assemble parts together in the same way as SpaceX on Starship. What differs, though, is that the barrel sections where SpaceX welds the barrel sections horizontally, whilst Blue Origin does it vertically. New Glenn is designed to have a reusable first stage for a minimum of 25 times, with ambition to get it up to 100 times, with 16 days of refurbishment. Only 3 out of 7 engines are gimbaling during ascent and descent, and the first stage will always land on a floating platform. Blue Origin uses quite a lot of orthogrid on these aluminium lithium panels for strengthening. As for the second stage, it will not be reusable, at least for the time being, and Jeff mentioned that they are using orthogrid panels for the first flight, but will move to monoshell from flight 2 onward for minimizing the cost as it is not reused. The factory was hosting 4 first stages already and a couple of stage 2, and it was not clear if the fairings were already manufactured from the video. The first stage engine, BE4, the same by the way on ULA Vulcan Centaur, is running on liquid oxygen and methane and has 340 seconds of specific impulse. The second stage has 2 BE3U engines, a vacuum optimized version of the new Shepard's engine, with a specific impulse of 445 seconds each in an open cycle, which is quite impressive. It's running on liquid oxygen and hydrogen, and the factory is relatively big, but it was rather difficult to tell from the video. It was a busy week in rocket launches. August 10th, SpaceX was at it again with its Falcon 9 and a Starlink mission Group 8-3 from Florida. The first stage flew for the 21st time and landed on a drone ship. August 11th, Rocket Lab launched an Electron rocket for its mission A Sky Full of Stars out of New Zealand. And August 12th, SpaceX launched another Falcon 9 Starlink mission Group 10-7 out of Florida. Its first stage flew for its 17th time and landed on a drone ship. On the same day, SpaceX launched a Falcon 9 for its mission Arctic Satellite Broadband Mission, or ASBM, out of California. The first stage landed on a drone ship for the 22nd time. August 15th, Roscosmos launched to the ISS a resupply mission with a Soyuz 2.1A for its mission MS-28 out of Kazakhstan. On the same day, SpaceX again, with a Falcon 9 for his mission Maxar 2 from Florida. His first stage has reflown for a 16th time and landed back to site. In summary, from January 1st until August 15th, 2024, 149 rockets were launched successfully. Out of that, 97 were from an American company or institution, and 9 from a Russian company or institution. I leave you this week with a picture from Josh Durry showing Stonehenge in the United Kingdom at the bottom and his night sky. This picture is a merger of several wide-angle camera pictures of the famous Perseid meteor shower which happened some days ago. The same camera took a deep image of the background sky that brought up the central band of our Milky Way galaxy running nearly vertically through the image center. Although the Perseid meteor shower peaked a few nights ago, some Perseid meteors should still be visible for a few more nights. I'm Christophe Paget for All About Space, wishing you a good week. Goodbye.